Hi everybody, it's Craig the Computer Geek here with this week's Tech Tip Tuesday, coming to you from the top of Mount Ainslie. So just continuing up the series that we've been running on what happens when you get your home computer and what do you do to connect it up. So you've got your social media, you've got all your cables connected up, you're onto the internet, but now you want to install a printer. And don't we just like connecting printers up? So printers these days are usually connected via the network, either by an Ethernet cable or by Wi-Fi. But also in the times gone past, they were directly connected via USB or even in the dark ages an LPT or a parallel port cable, but we don't use those anymore. So the advantages of connecting over the network is that any computer or any device on the network can actually connect to the computer. Hi there, Shamila. I'm not sure if you're asking me a question, but yeah, it didn't completely come up on the screen, so I'll try and get to that in a minute. So yeah, on the network, either Wi-Fi or via an Ethernet cable means that any network capable device can connect and print to that printer. Whereas if you're connected via a USB cable or a parallel port cable, it means only that device can connect. And then you've got to fiddle around and set up sharing, and the computer needs to be on to be able to print. So network printing is the way to go, and pretty much every printer these days is network capable, so even from mobile devices. So Apple uses AirPrint and so on, so that's pretty straightforward now. Usually the printers will come with a disk, but I like to actually use the full printer driver software from the vendor's website. That way it's installing all the software, including scanning and everything else. Windows 10 will usually pick up and install the printer, especially if it's connected via USB, but it only installs a basic printer device, and you've still got to set up the scanning anyway. So it is better to actually download the software and install it directly from the vendor's website. So and changing cartridges is usually pretty straightforward. Some of the cheaper printers, which I don't recommend, you can get printers for $39, $49 or whatever. G'day Jason, how you going? Cheaper printers, usually the cartridges cost more than the printer, and you have to replace them a lot more regularly. Usually the colour printed cartridges will come as an all-in-one, so it'll be a tricolour cartridge, which means that if one colour goes, then you're throwing out perfectly good ink. So it's best to spend probably around about $150 to $200 on a printer, and a bit like cars. G'day mate. A bit like cars, Ford, Holden, Mazda, Toyota. It's what you get used to. Most of the printer vendors are pretty good. We all have our preferences, but yeah, generally they're all pretty good, and they're pretty straightforward to set up. So the printers that are a little bit more expensive, that $150 to $200 range, will usually have an automatic document feeder, and they'll also have a duplexer, which means you can actually print on both sides as well. So it's worth spending the extra $50 or so to get those features, and you'll find that the ink will be in individual cartridges, so you'll get 4 or in some cases 5 print cartridges for individual colours. So when one colour runs out, you can just replace that without having to toss out all the other perfectly good colours. So that's a bit of a short wrap up on printers and what to look for when buying one, and how to connect. So connecting one, make sure it's connected via network if possible. So Craig the Computer Geek signing off for this week. Lovely sunny day here in Canberra on the top of Mount Ainslie, just sort of overlooking the lake and the War Memorial in the foreground, and Parliament House in the background there. So Craig signing off, and we'll see you soon. Take care.